Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell, we're about to roll in to a get ready with me halfway through. I didn't buy any new complexion products, therefore I slapped on my usual Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, my NARS Concealer, powder with Laura today. What else? Use my Makeup Forever, a Pro Finish powder to just set the Vanish stick, and my Benefit Goof Goof Brow for the brow. Star of the show today is the Athena and Aphrodite eyeshadow palettes from Bad Habits Beauty, sold on Hush. And it's interesting because that website basically sells dupes for all the very popular eyeshadow palettes that are now on the market. These are the dupes for what I believe Huda Beauty's Desert Dusk palette, and the Aphrodite is for her Rose Gold palette. And I was quite curious because I saw Kiki Chanel's video when she used the Athena, and I was shocked as to how well it performed on her eyes and how much better she said the shadows were in comparison to the Huda palette. Now, she did say she liked them better. If the formula is better than Huda's, I don't really know. But needless to say, I was very curious and I wanted to get my hands on these palettes. On the website, they appeared sold out, but when I downloaded the app for Hush, they were in stock. Maybe an incentive for the consumer to download the app and then you can get all the palettes you want. I ordered both palettes. They retail for $12 each, and I thought a very great deal for the packaging and the shades and all that, but we'll get more into those details if you keep on watching. Oh man, well, this Tarte business, you guys! When that foundation launched and I saw the shades, I saw the swatches, and then I was like, interesting. And I couldn't buy it. I mean, there was not a shade for me. And when I saw Alyssa Ashley's video and when she was with Jackie Aina's video, it was, I mean, unbelievable. It went from an orange tan to a deep brown. That was it. You had a plethora of light medium shades in several undertones. The only undertone that was present in the deeper shades was an orange one. And it was sad because Tarte Shape Tape is one of the best and most used concealers on the beauty market. Everyone and their mom uses that concealer from all shades, all skin types. It's not everyone's favorite, sure, but I feel we can all agree that it is the most, or was the most popular concealer of 2017. For sure. And when they announced they were launching a foundation, it was highly anticipated simply because of the success the concealer brought. And when they saw the shades, it was like, what is happening? Especially after Fenty Beauty launching 40 shades and just other brands across the board having a more comprehensive shade range. NARS just released their Radiant foundation that has 30 shades or 33, however many they have. And yeah, we were expecting to get the same amount of comprehensive shade range from Tarte, especially because they came up with 2 formulas. So don't you want to go out with a bang? Not only will you launch 2 formulas, but you're going to launch 2 formulas with like 30 shades each, 25, whatever. Okay. And the way they handled the response, I think, is what really put a bad taste in people's mouths. They deleted a lot of comments from their Instagram, as well as their, I don't know if they did a YouTube video, but there were 2 platforms I heard that they deleted comments from. And these are from the people whose voices really needed to be heard, of color, who couldn't buy their foundation because their shade was not available. It was not created. And I saw a lot of videos and I read a lot of the comments, and it's funny because people feel that I feel very strange talking with this powder on my face. I'm just gonna do this. I really can't take myself seriously. I'm sorry about that. For instance, someone said that no one made a huge deal when Too Faced released their Peaches and Cream foundation, because that was a very limited shade range as well. That foundation wasn't as highly anticipated as the Tarte Shape Tape foundation. Even their Born This Way concealer, that was highly anticipated, yes, because of the Born This Way foundation line. it did not have as much success as the Shape Tape did. Yeah, I didn't think, like, it wasn't a huge deal with the Peaches and Cream. It wasn't a high seller, nor were their concealers as high sellers like the Shape Tape. And that's the whole thing. Their best-selling concealer set the standard. It set the standard for performance, but also for shade range. And for your audience, as huge as it is, as broad as it is, you released a limited range. You handled the response terribly. And the whole additional 10 shades was an afterthought. It's like back at the bus again. After the fact that you got a lot of criticism, it was then, oh yeah, we're gonna release 10 more shades. Why couldn't you have released those 10 shades with the other lighter shades at the same time? Why did that have to wait? And their response, they released an apology. In that apology, they mentioned that they needed to get it out fast because it was high demand. Listen, we could wait. We can wait. I know we hype a lot of stuff up and we can't wait for this to come out and la la da da da, but we can wait. And it was important for them. This was a perfect opportunity to really showcase themselves as inclusive, especially again after Fenty Beauty and their 40 shades. Just after the fact that this conversation has been on the table for months. Whenever you release a foundation, you need to hit the whole spectrum, from the lightest to the darkest. And it was just horrific in terms of how limited the shade range was towards the deeper end of the spectrum. I mean, there was no deeper spectrum. It went from medium to tan. That was it. And a lot of the beauty bloggers who are of color and who they couldn't review it. And why would you review or talk about a product that you can't even, I mean, your audience can't even buy? I'm gonna start looking for another concealer. I love the Shape Tape, but every time I see that the Shape Tape, it'll remind me of this incident, and it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm looking into getting the Cake Face Beauty concealer. Those look really great. And yes, it is a limited shade range, but it's a smaller company, okay? And I feel perhaps they released those shades to see how it worked out, major skin tones and undertones, and see where they could take it from there. Let me know what you think about that down below. If you have the Cake Face concealer already, what you think of it. I needed to add my 2 cents because it's a conversation that needs to be present and that needs attention. This should not be happening after everything that has been happening in the world. Releasing a limited shade range after a concealer that is widely popular was and still is unacceptable. And again, I'm going to be using other concealers. If it doesn't bother you that much, let me know down below. Feel that we are bullying Tarte or Tarte is getting what they deserve. I want to hear all your thoughts, and of course we'll keep it a discussion. Everyone has an opinion. I'm sharing mine. It's nice to add insight to this conversation, and it's an important one to have. And this video already turned into an hour video. I have the Athena and Aphrodite palettes. I'm going to do Aphrodite on this eye, Athena on this eye. I know that's a little weird. I'm going to take it off, but just so you can see how they both go. I applied Athena on yesterday. I received so many compliments on this palette, and the pigmentation is there. I loved how it blended. The saturation and the richness, I really appreciated. It kept on my eyes for 8 hours. It did not budge. I also applied a little bit of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows on top of the shimmer shade. There was one shimmer shade on here that was a little dry, but we'll go over the swatches. I also have the new Fenty Beauty lipsticks, or I feel like that's not the correct name. Hold on. The Mattemoiselle Plush Matte Lipstick. These 2 colors I'm returning. I did not open them. They are sealed. Up to no good. Was very peachy because I tried it in the store, their tester, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I went crazy buying them, and then I decided for the shades that I was definitely not sure of, I would swatch first in store, and if I liked it, I would keep it. If not, I would return it. So these have been unopened. I also did not open Midnight Wasabi because I didn't feel the need to have that shade in my collection. It might be really cool, and I'm still looking to swatch it in store. I primarily purchased the neutral shades, of course, but I also picked up the clapback shade, which is this midnight blue shade. Really fun. I will swatch that for you today. Off the top of my head, if I were to compare this to a more inexpensive brand and formula, it will be the ColourPop Lippie Sticks. In terms of texture, finish, and feel, I think these to be very similar to the Fenty Beauty Mattemoiselle Plush lipsticks. These retail for $18 and I think this is $6. We'll go into more details later, but I actually prefer the shape on the Lippie Stick from ColourPop better than the Fenty Beauty Mattemoiselle. You'll see, because it's round, it's a circle, it's tougher to maneuver around the Cupid's bow. Just, you gotta be really careful or else you go a little bit too far. I've chatted enough, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. As I said, we're doing one eye Athena, the other Aphrodite. I love the fact that it comes with a mirror. You get a lot of eyeshadow, 18 shadows, $12. You can't beat it. It comes in a box showing you the Aphrodite one. I love the design of the palettes, very geometric-like in style. I really dig it. And here's a look into Aphrodite, which is the rose gold. I mean, it's spot on the first glance. It's kind of insane. I did not buy Desert Dusk. And I included it in my anti-haul. I swatched it in stores and I wasn't that impressed by it. I have to say, it was like $65. It's a lot of money. And I'm like, listen, I love the shades, but I feel like don't need to spend that much money for the shade selection. I could find something else. And the fact that the Athena comes with the pressed glitter, that came intact, by the way. That's not bad, friends. I mean, that's pretty good. I would still use a glitter glue because it's still loose glitter-ish, even though it's packed into the pan so it doesn't move out of it, just to be safe. I'm gonna first set my brow bone and crease area with Purity. I will try to use as many shades as I can. I feel we definitely want to go into the warm shades. I applied Heroic and Lore. Beautiful. I did justice on my lower lash line. Let's do... I don't know, man. I'll just do what I did yesterday. I'm going to go in with Heroic first. There's quite a bit of kickback in the pans, but I don't mind because look how this blends. Now with Lore, I'm going to help blend out Heroic right on the edges. That is not bad. I'm not mad at this at all. Going in with Power. Same brush, just to the outer and inner portions of my lid. I think it's pretty. As long as you tap your brush, you're in the clear because I'm not getting any fallout as of yet with these matte shades. Going in back with Heroic on the same brush, running that along my lower lash line and beginning to connect to the top. Taking Lore, that orange shade, running that under Heroic to smoke it out a bit more. One thing that I've noticed is how beautifully these shadows blend. For $12, I mean, you can't ask for more. And I didn't use Huda's palette extensively at Sephora. I did try it out. I brought my brushes. It was during the VIB Rouge sale week. Dipped in and played around, but I didn't really, I just was like, you know what, just don't even bother. Let me know down below if you love Desert Dusk, if you have it, if you have this and Desert Dusk, and if this performs fairly better than Desert Dusk. You know, let's talk about it. To deepen the outer corner, I'm going in with clever with a smaller detailed brush, starting on the lash line and then going into the outer V. This one you kind of have to build, and I found that out with the shade that this is mimicking in Desert Dusk. I tried the brown shade from that palette and I had to build it up a lot for it to show and for it to come up as a defining shade on my lid. Let's see, when you use the right brush, when it's densely packed like this, it'll distribute more color and it'll show a lot more than a fluffier brush would deposit it. I'm also bringing it to the lower lash line and I'm connecting these 2 points together. Happy to report there's no fallout from Clever. It's doing good. I love how this looks. When I applied this yesterday, I was shocked. I know I messed that up. That's my fault because I went a little too nuts towards the inner corner and it got on my nose, but that's not the shadow's fault. That's my fault. It's a little loose powder. Nice eraser. In person, I mean, this looks incredible. And the way these shadows blend, I'm still speechless. I'm also going to take Clever to the inner third of my lid. So I want to create the halo. You know I like my halo. Taking my fluffy brush again with the Power shade. That's the red shade. And I'm punching in a little more here, right over Clever. What do we think? How does it look so far? I love how this is blending. How they're looking. Now for the shimmers, I'll swatch us a couple. We'll do Fierce, Triumph, Gleam, Epic, and Medusa. Fierce, Triumph. Whoa, that, please, stop it. Gleam, ooh, Epic, Medusa. I don't think that's bad, friends. I mean, they feel really creamy. I love how they swatch. I know that doesn't mean anything. We gotta show how they look on the eyes. Let us take a look at the last 4. Divine. Ooh. Cunning. I think this is the shade that was a little weak. Cunning is a little weak. It's this shade right here. It's not swatching very well. I could wet the brush to see if it'll give a little more punch. It might perform just as a topper shade because it looks gold in the pan, but its duochrome on the skin reflects pink. Not too mad about it. Here's Wisdom. Gorgeous. Oh my god. What is happening? Come on. That is a pretty shade. Hello. Last, we have Prize. Ooh. More bronzy red, more like ruby, pinky red. Why even bother buying Desert Dusk? I mean, this is insane. Listen, if you swatch these side by side and one outwins the other, I get it, but right now this experience I'm having with Bad Habit Beauty and their Athena palette is mind-blowing right now. I applied the mattes on my lids, but I will also swatch the mattes that we have not used. This is Valor. Not too bad. I think that's really creamy. It's a nice transition blend out shade. Truth, this very taupey beige color. Actually, it looks cool in the pan, but it swatches pretty neutral on my skin tone. Not mad about it. Justice, which we will use on the lower lash line, but just so you see. Who to who? Who to who? I'm taking Justice, this shade here, brushing it under everything. I really love this shade and I blew this out and I think it makes for a great blend out shade. Not sure how punchy it will be as a lid color, but just to blend everything out and to add a nice touch of purple to the look, it serves that purpose very well. Yes, I love it. All right, I really want to use Wisdom. This is really calling my name. I'm going to go in with Wisdom first to the outer and inner third of my eye. I'll use a finger with it dry, just so you can see. Whoa, that's pretty. I think this is one of the better shimmers out of the palette, if I must say. And for funsies, I think I want to use Gleam on the inner third. Oh, snap. Gleam is a dual chrome shade. It reflects like blue, but it has red in it? Pink in it? I don't even know. Do you see that? Do you see that? And I've been using a lot of my ColourPop Super Shock shadows lately. I think I found a new appreciation for them because they just provide sparkle and punch in a millisecond. I'm taking the shade Revolution, which is like a purpley, sparkly shade with silver glitter in it. I'm pushing that on top of, yes, Wisdom. And look how much the party has started. It has started. But I now want to use a little bit of glitter glue, just a tiny bit, and apply Daring, that sparkle, the sparkles. I'm gonna apply the sparkles to my lower lash line. Guys, I'm going for it. I'm gonna see how this works. I don't know if I'm gonna do this right. Oh, that's not glitter glue. I'm gonna take Chromoscope by ColourPop with my pinky, punch it right to the center of my lower lash line, like so. That's gonna be our base. Now with Daring on my pinky, that's fun! And it stayed. It totally stayed. It's there. Whatever made the glitter stick together is helping stick to my skin. Well, ain't that just fun and dandy? I'm taking Medusa, that rose gold shade, to the inner part of my lower lash line. Want to take Epic, the other dual chrome shade, to the inner part of my lid. I'm actually gonna go in my finger, never mind. That, you see that? That galactic type of feel that this is giving us. I feel like I need to do a wing. We'll do the wing later. Let's get to this eye, because this video is already like 2 hours. Now that we've been thoroughly impressed by Athena, let's see how impressed we can get with Aphrodite. Ooh, Jealousy looks like a good color. Not a good emotion to have, but a good color in this palette. Ooh, I could have used Koi to set my brow bone. Put that on there. Nice color to highlight the brow bone. Now with Jealousy. Ooh, but there's also blushing. Ooh! Okay, I'm gonna use Jealousy first and then blend out Jealousy with blushing. This is the first time I'm using Aphrodite, by the way. Oh. Oh. Well, that came out pretty dark. It's showing up a little dark here. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't set my lid well enough, but I powdered before I apply the shadow so the base wouldn't be so sticky. I'm now going to apply blushing, which is this rosy shade right here. See how that will help the situation. Oh, that's a little better. I love the color of blushing. I think it's a nice rose transition shade that's not your typical warm shade. But I'm not crazy about how Jealousy went on my crease, unfortunately. Could be that I need to use another brush. I made sure that I cleaned this one well before I applied the shade. But I'm not going to let this decide right here and now. I'm gonna try this again and report back. Does that sound like a good idea, friend? Taking it lower lash line. Using blushing to blend out jealousy. I'm not loving how that's looking, but not gonna get too worried about it because I'm taking a smaller blending brush and now we'll apply seduction. I'm gonna see how that will help salvage our obstacle here. That definitely helped kind of fill in the holes and the skips that jealousy made on my lid. And I do love the color. It's a lot deeper and plummier than the warm shades from Athena. I'm going to take Heartbreak, which is the black. If you want to see how that looks quickly, just give that a swatch. Not too bad. I mean, it's swatched a little patchy, but I'm going to see... Ooh, that's a lot of kickback. Or kick up, I should say. Okay. No fallout to report as of yet, friends. That's a good sign. I'm just going in with blushing to blend out the edges here to just make them appear a little smoother. Well, this got smoky really fast. Whew. You don't have to because you still have romance. You have romance, admire. You have a lot of warm shades that are not super cool toned in here that you can create a more daily friendly look with. But if this is your daily look, you're on point. You're on track. I will take romance though, and we'll start blending in towards the inner third, or probably just the whole lid rather, because I need a little more, I feel like I need a little more lightness to this. It got dark really fast. Alright, okay, fine. I'm going to quickly swatch the shimmer shades, and I will also swatch the rest of the matte shades that we did not yet apply to our lid. This is Sparks. Not as creamy as the ones from Athena. Tease. That's pretty nice. This is Adore. Huh. Adore is a little... It looks chunkier. The particles look chunkier in the pan, which I feel that's why it didn't swatch as buttery and smooth as the earlier ones. Next we have Crush, which is this pinky shimmer shade here. That's pretty. I like that. Infatuation. I think that will look really nice on the lid. Maybe that will be our lid color. Beauty. Euphoria. Oh, Euphoria is nice. Love. Wait a minute. That was Love. This is Prize from Athena. I'm curious to see what these look like next to each other. I think Athena is a little pinkier and that shows more red. Very, very small nuance, but I thought you should know. Passion, Flirt, Admire. Passion. Ooh, that's a lot taupier than the Athena one. Admire. That's a pretty transition shade. This is Flirt. The pink shade. Ooh, that's a nice pink matte. Red matte is Lust. I'm gonna try to swatch Seduction and Jealousy just so you know what those look like. Seduction is the browner color. I'm gonna swatch it between these. That's the brown. Jealousy is like this. Where are we gonna put this? So it's like more like a terracotta compared to this being more brown that has a lot more red in it. And quickly, Romance. Definitely more orange. I don't know why Jealousy came out cooler in tone. I think I might have needed to brush or wipe my brush better so that wouldn't have applied as patchy, but you know what, we're gonna move on. It's fine. I'm gonna apply Infatuation with my finger. Now the whole thing with Huda's rose gold palette is that the featured texture was their textured shadows that you had to use your finger for or it will not show up on the lid. I'm gonna then use Euphoria on the inner third, blending that with Infatuation. That's pretty. I'm taking Sparks. Actually, you know, I'm taking Tease, which is like that shimmery beige shade right there. Oh, that's nice. And I think I want to use a fun shade for the inner third. Maybe I'll use Love. I'm gonna use Love. But I feel like I already have a red under this. I'm gonna go in with Crush. I did get fallout from Infatuation and I saw it coming because it looked a little crumbly on my fingertip. And that was expected to happen. I knew the minute I started patting that on my lid that I was going to get fallout on my face. But it's brushing away pretty easily. I'm taking a very fluffy blending brush. Where is it? Taking my Smith 232 and I want to kind of clean up these edges. And I think I'm going to use Koi to do that with. I went off camera to apply wing liner, mascara, bronzer, the whole nine. And I thought perhaps we should see some Fenty Beauty Mattemoiselle Plush lipstick swatches. First, okay, what do we think about the eyes? I really like these palettes, friends. I think they blended beautifully. They were easy to work with. Yeah, that one shade I felt like I totally messed up. But I want to blame myself because I want to give it another chance and kind of see what other eye look I can create with these colors. And not to say that you should, this is not to be a diss to Huda Beauty. Like, I'm sure she goes to great lengths to provide immaculate formulas for her eyeshadows, but not everyone can drop $65 on an eyeshadow palette. And I find that these are outstanding alternatives to the color story that Huda Beauty has in her eyeshadow palettes, that you can get very similar ones. And granted, yes, the Aphrodite is not offering the same textured eyeshadow experience that the rose gold palette has, because these are just basically shimmer shades and metallic shades, and the ones in Huda are actual textured shadows that have a lot more body to them. But I didn't have a great time applying them. I had a much easier time applying these shadows, and I will highly recommend that you check these palettes out. All right, first shade we're going in with is Shade. See, it's a little tough to get around the edges. This is showing a lot more red on camera, but I love how it feels. The texture is amazing. How crazy do I look? I believe these are, yes, matte finishes, but they're not budge proof. You can see how easy it is to remove these lipsticks. Next up we have Freckle Fiesta. I was like, Speckle what? Burnt orange shade. That's pretty. That's a nice fall color. And again, right off the bat, these compare very closely to the ColourPop lippy sticks. Texture, application. I don't know if ColourPop has like those fun shades like the midnight blue and the wasabi green, but if you're looking to just for like a brown neutral color, I would check out the ColourPop selection too if you're in a budget and you can't drop $18 for just one lipstick. You know what I mean? This is fresh. I didn't apply this yet. You see the Fenty Beauty embossed on the bullet. And there it is. I think it's really nice. I mean, it goes away the minute you start applying. So goodbye. This is PMS. I'm already messing this up. This one's a touch drier than Freckle Fiesta and Shade. Still very smooth. Still smooth. PMS is a nice color. Again, I have to have, I feel, a lip brush on deck because maneuvering over the edges and with the deeper color it can get a little gnarly real fast. And just so the edges look clean, I will probably have that brush nearby when applying. But this is a gorgeous shade. Oh, Griselda. This is the one I think. Did I try this on already? Probably forgot. No, I didn't. This is another fresh bullet. This is Griselda. Ooh. Interesting to see how it compares to PMS. Ah, yeah, this is definitely more red. You feel the deeper the colors go, the touch drier they become in texture. But there's a lot more glide with Shade and Freckle Fiesta, I feel. Beautiful shade, deep wine color. I'm not too happy about the bullet. I think it's tougher to apply it when it's that shape. Again, just around the edges of the lip. If it's a problem, you just don't buy it or have a lip brush on hand, as I said here. Now the one I feel we're all dying to see. Clap back. I think it's a fun shade. I'm happy to report that I feel I can pull this off. Maybe not with this eye shadow choice. But it's funky, it's cool, it's not too out there. It's a very deep navy blue. And definitely that drier texture like PMS and Griselda. Not as smooth as the warmer, lighter shades, but I like it. If anything, I probably didn't need to buy all of these, right? I feel that this shade and maybe Midnight Wasabi when I try it in stores, and if I change my mind about it, I'll keep it. For the most part though, even though those warmer shades were beautiful, I just didn't like the bullet. I felt it was tougher to maneuver around my lips, and I will show you quickly how the lippy stick does. This I just feel is easier to work with. Now granted, the color selection is not the same, but if you're looking for a similar experience in terms of glide and wear, the lippy sticks from ColourPop, because they are a ton cheaper. And although I love Fenty Beauty and the packaging, the color selection, $18 is a lot to spend. I wish it was designed more like this because I feel it easier to apply around the edges of my lips. That is the conclusion I'm making. And I definitely didn't buy the hot pink and the Madame, the red lipstick. As far as I'm concerned, I have those shades already in my Pat McGrath lipsticks, and I better not buy another red because that would be the most expensive red I'm ever gonna buy. It's the end all be all. I didn't need another red in my collection when I had like the bougie red resting on my shelf. So that was that. Thank you for joining me on this kind of get ready with me, maybe. I know I didn't do my face on camera, but I wanted to really get into my thoughts about the Tarte situation as well as show you these shadow palettes in action. I absolutely love these eyeshadow palettes. I only wore this one yesterday for 8 hours plus, and I could tell you right now the saturation stayed true. I did layer on a lot of the shimmers because I went in with my Super Shock shadows on top of those shimmer shades, and the glitz stayed throughout the day. Excuse me, focus on me, not my pineapple. I think it helped kind of keep the punch throughout the day and the sparkle. As far as I'm concerned, and you can't beat the price. You get 18 shadows with a mirror for 12 bucks. It's like, and it's a nice sized mirror too. It's not a funhouse mirror either. Shadows I thought from the Athena palette blended really well. I did have a hard time with Jealousy, But I'm not giving up. I'm gonna try this palette again tomorrow actually, or maybe later on today if I'm feeling it, who knows. I'm really happy that I saw Kiki Chanel's video and her enthusiasm as to how well this shadow performed in comparison to Huda's palette. And I think it a great alternative if again you're on a budget and you want those shadows, those colors, but you can't drop $65. I will definitely take a look at not only these palettes but the other ones that they have. They have a crap ton. They have like an Anastasia Prism alternative, I think, and alternatives for all the popular palettes that are right now on the market. So I would definitely take a look. I love the Fenty Beauty Plush lipsticks. I think they are a really nice smooth formula. I'm not crazy about the applicator, but I love the shade range. I wish they had a nude that actually fit my skin tone. I know, sorry, pitiful me. I thought the Up to No Good, the peachier one out of all of them, just seemed a little too peachy on me. And it's cool because I have my favorite nudes that are in my collection already. Who knows if she intends to expand the shade range in the Plush lipstick collection, but I will keep an eye out if she does. Thank you friends so much for watching. I'm sorry this video was so long, but I think we got through a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, leave your comments down below about Tarte, about the Huda dupes, the Plush lipsticks, and everything we talked about in this video. I would love to hear about it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and until then, I'll see you on here next time with another Get Ready With Me review, chit chat, tutorial, any of those things. See you soon. Bye.